Well, hey everybody, how are you today? Monday was cool. I spent the day pretty much selling to folks like it was Black Friday. That's cool. I celebrate the small successes in life. When I got home, I made an amazing pot roast that is in the oven right now. First, I seared the meat, cut the vegetables, then I made a broth, stuck it into an oven bag, put it into a pan, and put it into the oven for the next 2 hours. For me, that's a success because I'm an alcoholic who's still learning how to get back to normalcy in my life. 5 years sober, and I'm just an infant. Today's daily reflection for 15 December 2020, doing anything to help. Let's go. You know, it's real easy to get wrapped up in trying to help somebody to the extent that you start forcing upon how you got sober in the first place to them. And you start forcing your methods and the way that you achieved what you achieved in hopes that they will get the same thing out of it. They might not see it that way though. They may see that you are pretty much trying to force upon them what you think is best. The idea of trying to help somebody experience what you experience can be overwhelming, and it could feel like your obligation wholly to do it. But they have to be willing to do the work as well. If they want what you have, all they have to do is the work. Alcoholics Anonymous is designed from one step all the way to step 12. And that is a method that has been proven to work. And AA is not for everybody. I totally get it. And as we talk about on this channel all the time, there are other ways to get sober. However, for me, this is how I got sober and how I stay sober and live in sobriety. We just have to be careful, us alcoholics, when we take on somebody who they have the desire to stop drinking or to stop using or whatever, and we want to show them how to do that. Really, I think it's best, this is my opinion, just to allow them to see you and how you are. And that's the way I want you to see me, is something to emulate and say, I want to be like that. I want to know how to be carefree. I want to know how to be, just soft in the way that I handle things and the way that I approach problems versus being all wrapped up in anxiety and panic the way alcohol induced, and be able to be happy with what I have and who I am and move on in my life and live my life in a daily fashion that is beneficial to the people around me as well as myself. Today's daily reflection. Offer him, the alcoholic, friendship and fellowship. Tell him that if he wants to get well, you will do anything to help. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 95. I remember how attracted I was to two men from AA who 12-stepped me. They said I could have what they had with no conditions attached, that all I had to do was make my own decision to join them on their pathway to recovery. When I start convincing a newcomer to do things my way, I forget how helpful those two men were to me with their open-minded generosity. That's very simple the way it's written, and don't get twisted around the attracted to two men in AA. I don't know what you heard in that, but get your mind out the gutter, folks. Let's move on. I remember one of the people that I met, his name is Zane, and I met him in the first Alcoholics Anonymous group that I went to. The way that he spoke was off the hip, very witty. He had a lot of charm, and he also spoke with generality or genuine thought, and he conveyed his words very smartly. And I thought to myself, if this dude was an alcoholic for as long as he says he was, and he's done what he says he's done, how the hell is he sitting here so happy? And that is what appealed to me, is that if he could show me how to do that, or how to live that way without alcohol, because Jesus, everybody who's ever been drunk knows that you're a daggone superstar and nobody's going to convince you otherwise. So if you can do that without the alcohol, how cool would that be? You know, if you're an alcoholic like me, and I say that a lot because I wasn't a simple alcoholic, and I wasn't a simple drunk, and none of us are. And it's very easy to get caught up in how much we think we are awesome when we're drunk, and we're not. But how to have that same kind of feeling and that confidence and that swagger and everything else sober is an awesome thing. And that's what I saw in him, and that's what I wanted. I thought, how do I do this? And of course my alcoholic mind started thinking about all the easier ways that I could get sober, or all the easier ways that I can convince myself that one drink is not going to hurt, like I talked about last night. And I failed. I failed hard. I fell on my ass, and I half worked the steps that he suggested for me to do, and I listened half-heartedly and passively to what people were saying around me. And this was my first run in AA, and I thought to myself, why am I not getting what they have? Why am I not getting what Zane has? Why am I still feeling like I'm a piece of poop? I was frustrated to no end, folks. And you know, the honest truth is that, you know, I'll do anything to help. He would do anything to help. Because I didn't have a car, because I was all liquored up and everything else and couldn't afford one, he would always pick me up. Because I didn't have a book, he would always give me a book. Even if I couldn't afford my dinner, he would help me afford my dinner. And all he wanted was for me to have what he has. I think that's pretty daggone awesome. And you know, I want to return the favor to folks like you out there who might need some help, and I will do anything to help. Matter of fact, the people that I speak to on a normal basis who do need help, I will extend every courtesy I can, even internationally. I don't mind. If I can do it, I will do it. And that's how I think people should be anyway. But when you go through a certain experience together, a certain trauma or an addiction and things like that, there's a commonality that builds a bond, and that is where everything kind of takes off, and you are able to achieve sobriety and recovery through those folks and their energy and strength and spirituality and everything, blah, 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 and all that. And I just think that's awesome. And I was attracted to what he had, and I was attracted to how he carried himself, and I just wanted that. That's all I wanted. And wouldn't you know it, that after I had absorbed all that he was showing me and living and telling me and guiding me, that I too am now sober, and I too am now living sober, and I have a confidence, and I have my own swagger. Now, it's not all awesome like, because I'm not like super cool, but I'm still here for you guys every single day, mostly. And I'm not going to falter on that, because I made that promise to you guys when I started this channel, is that I'm going to be here for you. And as long as you are willing to sit and listen for 10, 15 minutes to me garble on about what I think I know, perhaps we can, you know, help each other. And that's what it's all about. We'll go to any lengths to help somebody. I will pick them up. I will take them where they need to go. I will get them clothes if they need clothing. I will listen to them when they are at their lowest point without judgment. And I will give not so much advice, but my experience, and if they can grow from that, if they can take from that and take from the steps that I suggest, because those are the same steps through Alcoholics Anonymous that I have received and that I know work. And a lot of you might argue that, and that's okay. Just drop that in the comments below, because it's all discussion. And we are all here for you, and that's what this channel is. This channel is for you. It's not for me. And I am doing anything I can to help, really. And that's the same way that I want to treat any newcomer that comes to me and asks for help. You know, with the admiration that I had for Zane and the way that I see that he grew in recovery and the way that I followed in his footsteps, and it proved itself to be true, I offer to you folks. I start convincing newcomer to do things my way. I forget how helpful those two men were. If I start to enforce my own opinion, and if I start to enforce my standard to a newcomer, or to newcomer being someone who says they want some help, and I start throwing what I at them, they're going to shut down immediately, folks, and that's not going to be helpful for anybody. And as a matter of fact, it could be damning for both parties. It could be damning for me. It could be damning for them. So you got to be careful. I got to be careful when I speak to somebody new, or when I speak to somebody who reached out for help, as in yesterday's daily reflection, and just be careful with them, and be true and be honest, rigorously honest, especially if it's something they don't want to hear and they need to hear it. I'm going to put it out there, folks. I'm telling you right now, if we work together and you want to get sober and you are doing poppycock, I'm going to tell you about it. And I might not tell you about it in a way that you want to hear. Because unfortunately, folks, alcoholics and addicts, we hear what we want to hear. But if you are in recovery and you want to get sober and you want to stay that way, sometimes you got to listen to what is real. Feel me on that? If you do, give a thumbs up, like this video, share it with somebody who might need it. And I'm telling you what, folks, I didn't forget about one soldier to another. I need the right environment for that, and I am definitely working on it, because that is a message that could affect millions of people around the globe. And I think that it's awesome, and I want to do it right. As well as I have another one that I'm brewing in the corner here. I'm thinking about doing a little 15-minute movie feature. Might be a little HBO B flick, but still thinking about it. And that one is also going to hold a lot of power as well. And I think that it'll be worth the watch. But you guys are the judge, not me. That's why they call it YouTube. And I don't know, I'm rambling. So anyway, that's today's daily reflection. That's something to chew on. Life's a garden, dig it, folks. Guess what? Boom. I'm going to see you in the next one. Have a great day.